Audio Jungle.
Yo, Monique won't stop. She just won't, man. She just won't. She need to relax. I'm telling you. Yo, you don't believe me? Check this out.
Earlier today, we did a post. And we did a post with DL Hughley having a conversation about how his daughter was violated from a really good friend of his. And at the time, he didn't say anything because he didn't want to jeopardize that relationship with the really good friend, and he didn't believe his daughter. We posted that. And then we left a caption under that, pretty much saying, if that black man couldn't put any protection around his own daughter, we know we have nothing coming. Now, once we posted that, the reason why I said, Daddy, can we go do a live? Because I was reading the comments on the timeline. And most of them are from black. And they're saying, some, Monique, what does this have to do with your contract? What does this have to do? You're going too far. What does this have to do with your contract? Let me tell you what it has to do with my contract. Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. It has nothing at all to do with my contract. What it has to do with is the character of the man named DL Hughley. That's what this has to do with. And let me acknowledge, DL Hughley did apologize. He said he apologized. And y'all are saying, Monique, he owned his mistake. Let me say this to you. Though he owned it, it does not erase the trauma. You have to ask yourself, what kind of demons is that man dealing with that he couldn't stand up to the of his child? Of his child. But that same man goes on his radio show and talks about people as if he was sitting in the meetings, as if he was making their life decisions, as if his opinion mattered in their choices.
I will only say this, and I'm answering this now in response to a request from my daughter, who of course, over the weekend was crying, tried it out in front of the world, in a situation she had nothing to do with, that doesn't have anything to do with the contract, would be traumatizing to anybody, particularly when it's from somebody who claims to love us for real. But she proceeded to talk about how I let a man touch my child, which nothing could be further from the truth. They were both 13 years old. They were friends that had grown up together. She told me about it years later, and when she told me about it, I, and this is something I lament to this day, denied that I said, well, you know, that's what kids do. Now, that was my estimation of it. It was not her interpretation of it. She was hurt by that. And I will never forgive myself for not, A, believing her, and B, handling it the way I did. But for Nique, A, to put a man in that room, which never happened, and B, to bring up sexual trauma in an argument that has nothing to do with what you're talking about, is unconscionable. My daughter Tyler addressed it, my daughter Ryan addressed it with her in a letter. And the thing that I was most proud about in the letter is not only that she held her head high, because she's supposed to. The other thing is she said there are legitimate things you could have gone after my father about, because my children know exactly who I am. They know that I'm not perfect. They know that I'm flawed. And none of them would have a problem with you assailing things that are really true. But you and your husband putting a man in my daughter's room when that is not what I said, and weaponizing it and using in a trite argument shows exactly how low you are. You are a monster. You literally are. You didn't play Precious. You didn't play Precious's mother. You let her out. You stopped pretending to be human, and you won a role for being You won a Oscar for being exactly who you are. Who says they love women and are there for women and protect the babies and would trot out someone's sexual trauma just to use in an argument? I don't know anything about you. I know that what happened to you when you were a child, what happened to you when you were growing up, those things are traumatic to you, and I would never bring them up. Never. It would never occur to me to do it, because that's not where I live. That's not what I do. You have had this argument or this show be about everything. It was about a contract. It was not. It was about an insult on the radio station, on my radio station. The question never aired. You know it never aired. And you continue to have this. And then you have the temerity to answer my daughter's letter with an invitation to come on my show. I will never let you on my show. Never. You will never talk to my children. I will never have anything to do with me. You do not exist. Maybe leaving my children out of your mouth will leave you room for the food you love so much. Look, you can continue to do whatever you want to me. That is fair game. I'm in this business. For you and your husband to continue to do things like this, you have already, first it was a contract. You've attacked everything. The dog, my wife, now my children. Enough. You do not exist to us. You don't get to break my family. You don't get to do that. I don't know if you ever had a man who loved you as much as I love my children. I don't know if you've ever had anybody who's standing in your stead, because the man next to you damn sure ain't doing it. All he's doing is wrecking what's left of the rubble of a career that you're pretending to build, trying to build back. Leave my children alone. Stay with me and we're fine. You're a horrible woman. You love women like Ike loves Tina.
You love women like Ike loved Tina. Fire. You can keep my kids' name out your mouth. You have more room for that food you love to stick in it. Fire. Fire. Yeah, we're going crazy. I feel him. Yo, Monique is being too disrespectful. What is she doing out here? What is the cause? He's not having. Who's riding with her for this? It don't seem like nobody. This is crazy. But yo, this is my perspective. I'm your boy Michael Sully. This is the Michael Sully Show, and I'm out. Bye.
Audio Jungle.